The Game Awards, it's back, and people are mad. Of course they are. The same people who hounded Jeff Keighley for having a jury instead of gamers voting for the Game Awards are now mad that gamers have chosen games that they dislike. Does it really matter in the grand scheme of things? Of course not, but people have to be mad somehow. And what better group to be mad at than the group you're a part of? Gamers. Yep, that's right. Game of the Year, VR game, all the Game Awards that Steam have put out in front of my eyes have been voted for by the masses. Okay? No jury, no outside influence, no inside influence, just pure fan power. And yeah, it's not looking good, bro. It's not looking good. But hey, let's get into more detail and let's get into how I feel about these awards. I already voted for them. I'll give you my thoughts. Game of the Year award, Baldur's Gate 3. I definitely agree, although I did vote for Lethal Company just because. Do I disagree with this? No, absolutely not. The only thing I disagree with are the finalists themselves. I'm glad Baldur's Gate 3 won. It is the most deserved. I am a bit sad that the original IP Lethal Company did not win, but I'm glad that it got nominated in the first place, and I'm absolutely happy that FC24 did not win. Good God. Why is it here anyway? Oh, that's right, the gamers. Moving on to the VR Game of the Year, which is not really my specialty. I voted for Gorilla Tech because I've actually heard of that. But which one won? Labyrinthine. What? Who? What? Apparently, it's a co-op horror game, and it doesn't really have all that good of reviews. I don't know if this is just review bombing because Gorilla Tag didn't win. Bias aside, did this really deserve the award? Just say yeah, because I have no idea. The winner of the Labor of Love award is the second most baffling to gamers and fans alike, especially on Twitter. They're very baffled by this, and you know what? I agree with them. Red Dead Redemption 2 winning Labor of Love over any of these, which, although I have never played any of these, I can confirm that, you know, the community is very active, work with the community, you know, updates. I've seen a lot of videos about, you know, Deep Rock Galactic and especially Apex. Still, I get recommendations on YouTube, but you know what I don't get on any social media platform or anything? No buzz around it after it was released, like this year and last year. Absolutely crickets. It's Red Dead Redemption 2. It's a great single-player game, but in terms of support, in terms of getting new content after all these years, Red Dead Redemption is the most bare bones. It's like a fishbone. The amount of updates it got ain't good enough. Barely enough to sustain half the posse that I got. But we are not done yet. We are not done yet. Of course, we are moving on to the Best Game on Steam Deck award. Of course, you gotta push your brand. You gotta push your product somehow, and this is the best way to do it, I guess. And the winner goes to Hogwarts Legacy. I completely disagree with this. It feels like they invested so much time in it. They had to shoehorn it somewhere, and it ended up here. You know, Hogwarts Legacy on the Steam Deck itself, I'm sure it's a fine game, but I don't think you're gonna get the most out of it on the Steam Deck. In terms of my vision of what a game on the go game, it has to be brotato. Like, it has the spirit of plug and play. Like, you can turn it on, play it for a couple of minutes, and turn it off, and then you go back to your life. Hogwarts Legacy, it's the type of game you have to get invested in. You have to really, like, immerse yourself slowly. And I don't think, like, Steam Deck is the correct format for that. Controversy aside, I just don't think it's a good option for this award. I don't think it's a good option for any award. I don't think it's good enough, but such is the hole we have dug ourselves in. Yeah, not a good option. Brotato is the superior option for gaming on the go. Better with Friends Awards. Hey, look, a game that I voted for actually won. How about that? If Lethal Company wasn't here, I would have voted for Party Animals because it looks cute, fun, like a grand old time with your friends. Alright, next up, Outstanding Visual Style Award. And I voted for Atomic Heart, and Atomic Heart won. I feel like all of these have that distinctive look, very unique look to them, but in terms of having best of both worlds, like real-world graphical fidelity and a unique look to it, I gotta say, Atomic Heart ticks both of those boxes, man. It's the perfect combo. Quality of the game aside and the questionable dialogue and all that, I am very much happy with this award. I'm glad Atomic Heart won something that it deserves. But let me tell you, if it won like best story or best script, I would not agree with that at all. Now this one, this is the most controversial award this time around because it went to Starfield. Most innovative gameplay, and yeah, I really don't get this. Is it a troll vote? I don't know. I think that's pure cope. Anyone who says it's just gamers trolling, you just gotta admit that there are a lot of people out there who actually do like Starfield. Maybe this is an instance where they had an opportunity to give something to it. Don't really blame them. What else can it win? Don't get me wrong, I'm also baffled because the appeal of Starfield is that it is a Bethesda game through and through. It's like the warm blanket you cuddle up in, you know, like that pillow, that yellow pillow you have? Yeah, it's like that. It's like that, but new. In my view, Starfield winning most innovative gameplay is antithetical to the whole appeal of the game by itself. I voted for Shadows of Doubt. It is early access and is like a more of a detective game. You have to use your noggin, so I get why this isn't as popular as the others. But Your Only Move is Hustle should have been a bop. Should have been a hit with these people. And I'm surprised that it didn't win. I was expecting Your Only Move is Hustle to win. That or Remnant 2 because it's like a AAA quality type of game where people are most familiar with. But Starfield is there and it has won. Very bad choice by the gamers, but what can you do? This is what happens when you give them the power. Best Game You Suck At award. I voted for Sifu and Sifu won. This is an award where I don't see any other game winning except for Sifu. Definitely not FC24. Definitely not giving it to Lords of the Fallen. Overwatch 2. Hell no. Street Fighter 6. It's not really that hard per se. So Sifu, it fits the criteria. Glad it won. Best Soundtrack Award, I voted for Chance of Sonar because why not? People are pissed that Pizza Tower didn't win anything at all, but that's fine. It's not really meant to win awards, it's meant to win the hearts of the people playing it. Also, it doesn't really deserve Best Soundtrack in my opinion. Last of Us Part 1 winning Best Soundtrack, it's the most cliche, but what can you do? It's The Last of Us. It moved me on an emotional level that these games just didn't. I'm fine with this winning. I'm fine with The Last of Us winning Best Soundtrack. Although from now on, can we just stop giving these awards to remakes? Can we? Is that an option? Is that a viable option, gamers? Anyone watching this? Do you agree with that? Outstanding Story-Rich Game Award. I voted for Baldur's Gate 3 and it went to Baldur's Gate 3, thank God. Gamers are wise enough. Yeah, most of these games do not deserve the award except 4. Love is All Around, where the protagonist encounters 6 beauties and tries to navigate their life. Yeah, it's how did it get here in the first place? The audience for this, how did it penetrate the voting system? It must be good. It's here. It's on Steam. Maybe I should try it sometime. Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3, predictable but understandable. Too bad Love is All Around didn't win. That would be a conversation starter on Twitter, let me tell you. The final award, Sit Back and Relax, going to Dave the Diver. I really didn't have any other option because I'm not really familiar with any of these, except for City Skylines 2, which the only thing I've heard of it is that it runs so poorly. Doesn't matter what system you're on, doesn't matter how powerful your PC is, it will just not work sometimes. It's chugging along like an old steam train. Speaking of trains, Train Sim World. I heard it's good. And that is as far as my knowledge goes. Coral Island and Potioncraft, absolutely no idea about them. In terms of fitting the bill and fitting the criteria that the award sets up for itself, Dave the Diver is the most qualified to win. All in all, it's pretty decent, but I do understand the uproar. Labor of Love should not go to Red Dead Redemption 2. Best game on Steam Deck should not go to Hogwarts Legacy. And most innovative gameplay should not go to Starfield. Like, at all. Even though 3 out of 11 are duds, which isn't really a lot, you can understand the frustration. This is why Jeff Keighley has a jury. You can now see why. You can now see why there's people who aren't just gamers, who know more than just playing them. This is the reason, guys. This is it. This is the top 1 reason. This is what happens when you let the fans vote. But hey, that's just my view on things. I don't know about you. Maybe you can voice your opinions in the comments.